like and subscribe. Now. What do you have too much of? Dust and corners it can hide in. Build a dome. Problem solved. Still the corner, where it meets the floor, I suggest some kind of sphere. 32-inch televisions, as in about 50 of them still remaining. Hear me out, it was a good deal. A whole recreation lodge was refurbishing. The auction was cheap, under $20 per. I wanted to build a TV wall. Surely others could use them, etc. Now, they're party favors. You're the electrician who helped me get the new hot tub unfinished. Cool. Want a TV or two? Show up for a toga party. Don't forget your free TV. Your computer monitor broke. Here, it has a VGA hookup. Use the TV to hold ya over. Your dog died. My condolences. Watch the memorial videos on this TV. Oh, you might be in the hospital for a bit for an operation. Don't worry, I got you set. Take this TV and watch all your shows. Need to weigh down a body. Tie a couple of TVs to it. So I tied a TV to my belt, as was the style at the time, as in about 50 of them still remaining. How many did you have to begin with? The fact this hasn't been responded to yet shows much of a mark of shame this has been on op. Guinea pigs. I love them, but 6 is a lot lol. Pets in general for me. 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 cage birds, 1 opossum. This is the low end for us. We previously had 3 dogs, 3 cats, 2 cage birds, 3 chickens. At another time we had about 14 pets including foster kittens. Emails. Effing emails. I just went from walls of emails, full of tasks, every day at my old job to maybe 2 to 3 a week at my new job. Plus, my mail inbox currently has 99,491 unopened emails. I don't open them, and don't delete them. It's been over 9 years. Get on my level. Are you gonna have a celebration for 100k? I apparently missed my own celebration. Then, currently sitting at 119,712. I just leave them unopened if it's an ad, and I have too many things where I've subscribed or ordered something, and they keep sending offers. Pet hair in my clothes. I've just accepted it as part of my wardrobe. I mean, hey, people pay good money for real animal fur on their clothes. We get it for free. This is why I have a lint roller in both of my cars and my house. Resting inertia. I need to get off my A and start moving. There's no time like tomorrow. But seriously, I started taking my fattest to the gym last October. I hated going to the gym. I'd get in there, get going really strong for like a week, and then I'd be over it. But I just force myself to go. Now I go 4x a week. And I hate the days I don't go to the gym. I don't have some crazy weight loss story or anything. I've always been 6 foot, 185 lbs. But now I'm a healthier 6 foot 194 pounds. But seriously, it'll suck to get started, then it'll feel rewarding, then it'll suck for a while, but then, once you break through the second suck, it'll become a habit. I can always message you cliché sayings, if you think it'll help. Unfinished projects. I have thoughts about this. I'm in my 40s, and for most of my life I had an unending series of unfinished projects that I felt guilty about. Today, I'm able to finish some stuff, including some pretty large, hard projects. Better, I don't feel guilty about the stuff I don't finish. The trick for me is to be deliberate and mindful about why I'm embarking on a particular project. If it's because I want to feel good by sharing something with others, accomplishing a difficult, challenging task, proving to myself that I can do something, getting the social cachet of being a creative, productive person. Maybe this is shallow, but who doesn't like to feel impressive in the eyes of their peers? Then the goal of the project is the productive, and I focus my attention and discipline on it. I try to have as few of these as possible, like only 1 at a time, so that my willpower is not diluted. If it's because I want to feel good by improving a skill, exploring an unfamiliar domain, or learning something new, relaxing by tinkering on something I like, then the goal of the project is the process and I don't feel bad about not finishing. The real treasure is all the stuff I learned and did along the way, and there is no real destination. I can have as many of these as I want, because there's no real failure mode here. They're all recreation. Once I got more honest and clear with myself about my goals for each project, I started to be able to finish the ones where that mattered and stop feeling bad about the ones where it doesn't. I was bad at procrastinating, but a TED Talk, of all things, helped me a ton. It was called Inside the Mind of Master Procrastinator by Tim Urban. It's both funny and serious, and gets into how much procrastination can F people up. One thing he gets in to is open vs closed deadlines. Procrastinators tend to be able to get a project done by the deadline, even if it means cramming and rushing. But with open-ended projects, I want to start that new business idea, or I'll build that shed one of these days. Procrastinators will put them off forever. So, for me, the trick was creating a deadline. If it's a complex task, I will break it down and make deadlines for each step. Hope this helps someone. And definition, check out the TED Talk. My scale model shed sits at like 90% completion. Come and spread your suffering over at r/Madelmakers. A subreddit showcasing unfinished projects sounds like a good idea. NGL. Video games I bought, but refused to play. I'm like that, but with books I bought, but refused to read. It's just the serotonin of a new purchase, I guess. I'm like that with both of those things. And DVDs I still insist on collecting. I need help. Stop looking at my Steam account. Unused items and gifts that I have that takes up space in my apartment. I just have too much. Get rid of it. But what if the person finds out you got rid of it, even though you'll never use it, and haven't in the last 7 years? Internal panic. My mother-in-law comes over looking for gifts from years past. Most of the time I can't even remember what she's referencing. Back quote, oh, the insert for the crock pot I told you I'd given to my sister before she moved 4 years ago. I'm pretty sure it's in the basement in a box. I'm sorry, what? You want it back? If I'm not going to use it? Sure. Hang on. Sorry for the 4 or 5 years of dust and musty smells. But, here you go. Just get rid of that if the person is going to be mad that you don't have it anymore. They will be just as cranky if you tell them it's sat unused for 4 years. My wife just did a month of getting rid of stuff. July 1st it was one thing. July 2nd was 2 things. You see the pattern. By July 31st we were both into it and trying to find 31 things to get rid of. Got rid of 496 things in July. August 1st we did a big drop of at a local thrift store. Now we have less stuff, and I don't miss any of the things we got rid of. I love this idea. Join a buy nothing group in your area and gift those items. It'll bring joy to someone and bring second use to those items. Yeah. And my family insists on giving me more on my birthday and at Christmas. Apparently the fact that I live in a small apartment means nothing to them. Suggest consumable gifts like coffee, chocolate, olive oil. Most people can use these and they won't add to clutter. I think 95% of the items my mom gave us for Christmas went directly to the donation bin. I can't get her to understand that I don't need more stuff. But I don't have to fill my house with things I don't need and won't use. I have a wildcat box in my house. Anything that doesn't belong or just clutter in general get tossed in it. Then at least it's all in one place instead of all over. Once in a while I go through it, and if there's nothing I want to keep, the box goes to Goodwill. Debt. Damn it. Same. I have too much lack of money. A year ago I said the same, and in May, we paid off 100% of our debt and started saving. For the first time in my adult life, I have a positive net worth. I cannot express how good that feels. I hope it didn't take you until the age of 55, as it did me. Mosquito bites. I went camping along the Mississippi River last weekend. I stupidly didn't put bug spray on, just because we hadn't really needed to during any of our other camping trips this summer, so I thought I'd be fine, and then didn't have it with me. When they started biting, I got almost 100 mosquito bites just on my legs and ankles. I asked my husband, who also didn't use bug spray, how many he got. I thought I saw one yesterday, but I can't find it now, so I guess 0. Anyway, I feel your pain/itchiness. I hope yours feel better soon. This is me as well. I get so many bites that I can be used as mosquito repellent for those around me. They all just beeline, mosquito line, for me and leave everyone else alone. No idea why. Hoodies. They're my favorite article of clothing, and I own 25, 30 Aish, you'll never top the person who has 164 sweaters. Just when I thought I was special, I've got a friend who has a problem with stealing people's hoodies, but like by tricking them into giving it to her to borrow, and not ever giving them back. Her stockpile was 2 to 3 times yours, all stolen. Ridiculous. Regrets. Me too kid, me too, sigh. I read that as me, too. Kids, which made it really funny. When I was 14, my friend's older sister told me never to have regrets, because whatever decision you made, at the time, was for a reason. I effing live by that. The choice I make is done with a limited number of options and resources. Good or bad, I accept them, and the consequences, except for whatever BS drunk me did. That bee can kick rocks. I accept no responsibility for whatever she did. Luckily I pumped the brakes on drinking, and kicked drunk me to the curb. Anyway, F regrets, unless you're a murderer or something crazy. I used to say the same thing. Then one day my dad called me out of the blue. I was busy, and didn't really feel like talking, so I just let the call go. He died later that week, and not a day goes by that I don't sincerely regret not taking that call. Now if family calls, I answer unless I literally can't. No regrets. Things to do, same. Too little time. Sclerosis. I have multiple. THX for awards. Unrelated. HMU if you have a nervous system that you want to trade for some awards. Have you thought about exchanging them for a single large sclerosis? My father always said, it's better to whole A1 sclerosis than to half a multiple sclerosis. Saw your post couple weeks ago. Hope you're doing okay. My stepmother was diagnosed around 27. I know it isn't easy. Take care. As a person who also has too many sclerosis, this made me cackle. That made me laugh. I'm sorry though. I'm sorry, but also, this warranted a laugh. Hot sauce. About 120 bottles. I have no food in my fridge. Send help. Exhaustion. Self-loathing. I used to hate myself. Then I was diagnosed with cancer at 26. I decided that there's at least as much hatred as I deserve directed at me from the universe, so I stopped participating in it. This is simultaneously kinda funny and really sad. Hope you are okay, mate, and I hope you've learned to love yourself a lot more. Thoughts. I have too many thoughts, therefore I'm too much. They always ask if descances, but never how descances. Intrusive thoughts. Insecurities. A share. Like trying to through a screen door. I hate that. I understand this. Like trying to clean peanut butter out of a shag carpet and the adjoining tree perennial area. What's that expression? Like wiping peanut butter out of shag carpet. Just pinch when you wipe and rip out a few hairs each wipe. Browser tabs. I just can't bear to close them because I know I'm gonna look it up again soon. I feel this in the depths of my soul. Just click that X. Man, let your mind be free from the stress of save tabs. Anxiety. Recently got out of being so anxious that I could barely leave the house. It's a journey. My 13-year-old got there towards the end of COVID. I'm slowly reintroducing her to society. Man, this shit's just too much sometimes. Never really thought I had it at all. The last 2 years I started smoking weed, and progressively more and more each day. Was going through a 1G cartridge every other week, while also taking 10-20 milligrams of edibles per day. The only time I wasn't high was during working hours. August 10th I decided it was enough. My anxiety the last week has been almost debilitating. It effing sucks, but I'd rather get my short-term memory, my diet, and my drive to do things back. Been thinking about talking with a doctor for medication. Anyone have any insights on those? Kinda terrified of changing my personality, or ruining my creativity, or sex drive, etc. I should probably just speak with a doctor as well. I will eventually, but hey, random internet strangers give me some insight. Same. Anger, the deeper suppressed kind, not the road rage at strangers, while cutting them off in my lifted pickup kind. I feel this. Ironically, it shows when I drive though. I usually have to have someone else drive me because I physically cannot handle how angry I get over small things people do point, and I'm not really mad at them. It's just an outlet for the anger of other things that happened in my past. I had issues lashing out when I was much younger, but it didn't take me long to realize I was lashing out at the wrong people for the wrong reasons, and I didn't want to be that lashing out person. because that person is being an a-hole and they're doing it despite having the knowledge and ability to stop being that person at any time they want. Loneliness. I had a dream of someone I hadn't seen and haven't heard from in years. It was someone I really missed and I wanted to talk to them, but they got in their car and started driving away. Even in my dream I couldn't reach them. Turmeric. I have a container full and every recipe only ever calls for a 1/4 teaspoon. Hate for people that don't use turn signals while driving. How about when they drive like 3 miles with their left blinker on, then suddenly change lanes to the right? My driving hate is for people who have the right of way but insist that you go anyway. That is not helpful. Predictability is the safest and most efficient way to drive. Just go if it's your turn. No such thing as too much hate for those C***NTS. Scotch. I have a deep love of the stuff, but I'm not an avid drinker by any means. I maybe have 2 or 3 drinks a week. People keep gifting me bottles, which is great, but leaves me with too much. I just went and counted. I have 6 open bottles that I have sampled, and 39 unique, sealed bottles of scotch that I haven't gotten into yet. I also have several duplicates. 53 bottles in total. I know a guy who can help. I came as soon as I heard. Also I'm here. Caffeine. My blood is coffee. Fat. I second and third this. Seconds and thirds are how some of us got into this mess. I know 4 fat people and I'm 3 of them. Libido. I don't have any. Please share. Depression. Dreams. I can't do them all, so I don't do any of them. Make a list. Determine which is the most achievable. Start with that one. Forget the rest until you succeed at this one. Don't forget that failing is both valuable and important. Most of the success you set your gaze on is preceded by valuable failures. Debt and temporary passions. Worries. But where does it keep coming from? My chest looks like a dolphin yet my A looks like an Armenian man motorboating a stripper. Cats. I blame my dad. They are all rescues from the road or a field, or a few that just showed up at the house one day. We are rural. Don't get me wrong. It's totally the right thing to do. But we've got a lot of cats now. We got 14 cats. Toys. I have 4 kids and toys are taking over my house. Most of them are pieces of random toy sets that are useless on their own. 2. Fear. Time on my hands. It's ticking away with my sanity. May I have some please? Clothes. Money. I have literally over 1 million pennies in my bank account. Lucky, I only have 200,000 nickels in mine. Little plastic characters in my basement. Thousands of them. Stress. Sweaters. I have 164 of them, and I have been collecting since high school. Here is an album of all of them. I realize a few are sweatshirts, but they have such huge sentimental value that I consider them equal. I hope to one day have enough that I can wear a different one each day of the year. Started to look at them, and then realized that I'm not going to view 164 hoodies while it is past 1:30 AM here, and I need to get some sleep.